Assalamu alaikum. This is the very first chapter regarding management and how the organizations are, how they are managed. It will be about managers and the managerial system. So let's proceed. Managers are actually those people who coordinate and oversee the work of others. They are actually the people who ensure the management process and through their oversee means to supervise. By supervising, they ensure that the organization goals that the organization has set at the first place, they can be accomplished, they can be achieved. They perform this function at various levels. The first one is first line manager, that is just directly supervising, overseeing the non-managerial employees, the staff at the workers level, at the operation level. The other is the middle managers, that is, they oversee, they supervise the front line manager, and they also play a role to channelize the information between the first line managers and the top managers. Finally, the top managers, they are the individuals that are responsible for making organization-wide decisions and establishing plans and goals that affect the entire organizations. They are actually at the strategic apex. They create the organization-wide policies. Some prominent functions of each layers of management. So this is just a hierarchical chart that we have just discussed. Supervise things, to get things done through others in an effective and efficient manner. So what is efficiency and effectiveness itself? Effectiveness is doing the right things, attaining organization goals. And how do you attain those goals? If you focus on the low input and high output, it will give you efficiency. They're doing things rightly. And these managers also perform certain functions, and these are listed here. For example, planning. Planning is the initial stage. You have to plan your work, and accordingly, you try to go things according to the plan. So, this is actually initial stage, and the next step is to organize the things according to your plan. For example, if you have initially planned to create a building, you organize it, you create a structure about it, and after that, you will do staffing. Here is another step in between these two, organizing and leading. So there is a function of staffing that involves appointing people according to the need of your business. And when you appoint people, when you appoint staff, then you have to lead them. You have to lead them from the front. You have to manage them also, and you have to show them, you have to direct them where should they go, what procedures should they adopt, how the work should be performed. And what the plan you have made initially, you have to you have to ensure that things are going according to your plan. So you have to control things as well. So there is a difference always between the actual things and the planned things. You have to minimize that thing. So minimizing what is the actual output and what was the planned, it is the function of controlling. There was a person called Henry Muntzberg, and he was an academic, belonged to Canada. He proposed some roles that a manager performs, and these roles are divided into three main categories, and we'll discuss them with examples. The first category is informational role, and as the name suggests, it requires all of the roles here are pertinent to information. The first one is monitoring. Monitoring means seeking and acquiring the information related to work. So it may involve scanning, reading the trade press, periodicals and reports, and attending the seminars, the training, etc. The second function is disseminator. Disseminate actually means to communicate. Its dictionary meaning is to communicate. So disseminator is a person who communicates information to others within the organization. And the spokesperson is also a person that communicates information, but that is outside the organization. So that is the crucial difference between these two. So communication within the organization in the function of disseminator involves sending memos, reports, emails, and etc. And as far as the spokesperson is concerned, when someone is talking to the media and passing on the memos outside the organization and participate in conferences, meetings, etc. The other role is interpersonal, and that involves being a figurehead. Figurehead is actually a person who is a figure of the organization. Whenever we talk about a certain organization, a certain name comes in our mind. For example, for as far as Microsoft is concerned, then we have a Bill Gates in our mind. That is the very easy example to understand. And what it does is it performs social and legal duties, act as a symbolical leader. He actually goes to various events on the behalf of the organizations, and he greet visitors, he sign legal documents, attend the ribbon cutting, etc. The leader is a self-explanatory. I will not gonna talk about it more. A liaison is a person who actually maintains a contact between the two layers of management. He is actually a bridge between the various departments and various levels of the organization. For example, middle management, he creates a channel of information between top management and the frontline management. Entrepreneur is a person who takes decision. So it is under the head of the decisional roles. Entrepreneur is actually a person who is always seeking for risk. He is a risk taker, and he has to carry on his business by experimenting new things. He has to plan for the future, and he has to be innovative in this regard. So the second one is disturbance handler, a person who handles the disturbance within the organization. Maybe the two of the colleagues might quarrel, or there might be a dispute between the two parties. The dispute might be internal or external. So managers' main quality also involves disturbance handling. It deals with disputes or problems and take corrective actions. Resource allocator is when you allocate resources to different people and different departments based on their needs and roles. You might have heard about the budgeting section, the people who create financial plans, etc., and plans about the other things, HR plans. So they are actually those people who allocate resources accordingly, what the plan suggests. And the last one is negotiator. Negotiator is actually a person that try to create a win-win situation before the both parties and try to get the maximum for the organization. For example, if we go into a process of negotiation with the other party, so we have to convince them about our terms and conditions, and we have to make them realize that certain things are important for us, and what things are we can compromise on and what things we cannot compromise on. So there might be an in-between solution between the two parties. On that certain point, both of the parties can agree, and that is the point of negotiation. And a person who effectively performs this whole process is a good negotiator. We have discussed about different levels of management, and at each level of management, there are some skills also required. And all of these three skills that we can see on the screen that are required at each level, but at every skill is more related to a certain level. For example, for the technical skills, knowledge and proficiency in a certain field, frontline manager may be more in need of these sort of skills. For example, they have to supervise the non-managerial employees, the people who are in the main operational work. So the know-how of that work is very crucial for the frontline manager. Unless they know the process, unless they know the technicalities, how can they supervise the people who are at the operational level? So the second thing is human skills that are required by each layer of management. But for those who are liaison, for those who are middle managers has to create a channel between the top management and the frontline or lower management. So this human skills, the management of human behavior and how to deal with people, this skill is highly in demand for the middle management layer. And the conceptual skills, these are the ability to think and conceptualize about the complex situational problems. And these are actually more pertinent to the top management, because the complex situations they have to deal with them. There are many decisions that are these are the decisions that are crucial to be made. So and that requires a lot of power and a lot of authority. For example, a complex situation arises like COVID-19, and management has to make a very crucial decision regarding work from home. So, these type of decisions that can change the entire spectrum of the organization can only be taken from the top management. As we can see, this chart also depicts the same thing. Initially, the responsibility of a manager is to get things done through others and to manage the employees and those who are the subordinates, those he have in his span of control. But as the time goes by, the need of the management has also evolved. Like uh, it is now more customer focused, as all the organizations are doing the work, doing their operations to sell, to either sell or to produce goods. So, and that is for the ultimate consumer, and ultimate consumer has to be fulfilled. They should be satisfied to get the business going in the foreseeable future, to have a good business health. So therefore, a manager has to focus on the customer relationship as well. They have to make policies. They need ideas constantly. They need to innovate uh, to have a maximum satisfaction for their customers. As you were talking about the organization, so what is organization? Organization is actually a group of people who has come together to perform a task that an individual is not able to do. And all of these people who has come together, they have a distinct purpose. They have a goal in mind, and that work cannot be done solely. They can only be done through the combined effort. And also, we have a deliberate structure of people that we have already discussed that we have different layers of management. This actually is an example of a structure. We have a hierarchy: frontline managers, middle managers, and top managers. These are actually the structure. All of them are ultimately supervising the non-managerial employees. Why is even there a need to study business? We may have different businesses that are very diverse in their dynamics and the nature, obviously, but the one thing that is very common in all of those businesses is the need of management. They all need to be managed in one way or the other. So the studying management has a utility, and management itself is something that has a universal applicability. So, the reality of work, the employees, they either manage or they are managed, and the rewards and challenges of being a manager. Another very important thing that people are motivated by is the rewards. And reward actually is something that a manager can use to incentivize their employees that they should work hard. And when they work hard, when the employees get the reward, they get fulfilled. Uh, Moreover, managers should also create an ownership within the employees that the work they are doing that has some sort of importance as well, and in that manner they will have a fulfilling effect. They will have a fulfilling sense that their work is also important for the organization. And the managers who do these sort of functions, there are certain rewards for them as well. As we have discussed the importance of studying management, so it is relevant to all size of organizations and all sort of businesses and all functions of those businesses. For example, a certain business have a function of marketing, manufacturing, human resource, finance, etc. All of these functions also need to be managed, and they are managed through the underlying principles of management subject. And organization levels, as we have also discussed before, they are either the hierarchical level, vertical type of organizations, or in the later chapter, we will also study about the egalitarian, the horizontal type of organizations. So, irrespective of the structure of the organizations, the management is there, and the need of management is also there. and it is suited for all sort of organization. Either they are for the profit and for the non for profit. So that's it. This is the end of chapter